Zach, I'm starting this thing off with a bang. Can you believe it? So let's preface this for a second. Me and Zach literally have been trying to catch up for like the last week and a half. He's been out of town. He's been doing his draft stuff. He's been doing stuff for the Landry hat. I've been doing things. And I'm like, Zach, we got to catch up. We got to do work today. Zach's like, okay, let's do some work today. So then we're backstage and we're like, I'm just telling you, Zach, I think there's real smoke to Osa getting traded. Boom.
Immediately after, literally immediately after, I look down, I see Ian Rappaport, because I have all of those guys' notifications turned on X. Literally every single notification. I'm like, Cowboys just traded Osa.
The Dallas Cowboys just traded Osa Odighizuwa. Now, I want to do this, Zach, before we get into what this means. The good thing about it is, Zach, I'm so thankful that me and you are so versed when it comes to draft talk that we can carry this show, because this is where the Cowboys want to live. This is a world that's comfortable for them. But I want to take this time to say Osa was a great player for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, some of these guys, they took the money and ran. I don't look at Osa as that type of person. I look at, and I'll speak for myself, I look at Osa as one of those guys who I think he just was the last and got caught up in the wash of the Dan Quinn archetype, the Dan Quinn scheme. But the character that is Osa Odighizuwa, great person. Osa, salute to you if this ever finds you. Salute to your family. You came in, you gave us your all, bro. Shout out to you.
Yeah, I loved Osa. I mean, he was a third-round pick himself, really exceeded expectations, I think. Like, just came in as a rookie. I know a top 100 pick, but he played good. Defensive tackle is not an easy position for guys to come into the league and make an impact, and he did that really early on in his career. And I'm sure we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the compensation and the third-round pick, but that's what I see the most. Comments-wise are like, oh, it's only a third. It's only a third. Like, yes, we loved Osa, but what kind of player do you think he was? Not that he's not a good player, not that he's just not an all-pro type guy. You were never going to get Fred Warner in a trade for Osa. You were never going to get a first-round pick for Osa, a guy that's carrying a $16 million cap hit this year, who has a potential out going into 2027. So let's say he didn't play good and the 49ers didn't want to keep him on. He has a $20 million cap hit next year. A third-round pick, a top 100 pick, is what you were going to get. That was probably the price, unless it was for a straight-up player and then maybe some late day 3 trades. Like a third-round pick, but yes, going back to it, Osa, great person, great player. I just think, like you said, he got kind of caught up in the wash at this point, especially trading for Quinnen, Solomon Thomas playing better than they expected, Kenny Clark being part of that Micah deal. For the first time in a long time, Dallas was actually able to use their defensive tackles to maybe get other assets.
Yes. And the sad thing is, Zach, there are going to be people who think that we don't believe this, but we do. When you signed Quinnen Williams, I said this and I believed it. You know, rotation-wise, it's going to be hard to take.
Bro, people are like, Solomon isn't here. The Cowboys are also trading defensive tackle Solomon Thomas to the Titans for a 7th-round pick swap. I'm like, bro, in my head, I'm like, wait, was Thomas on a 1-year deal? Was it a 1-year deal? Why am I going crazy? And I look down, I see it. Okay.
Oh, hey, look, listen. At the end of the day,
That's hilarious.
At the end of the day, like, this is what they're doing. All right, let me go back to that. Love you, Solly, but this is Osa, right? Let's get back to the Osa thing, right? When you look at, you know, who Osa was and like kind of what he means, you look at a guy who gets up the field, but I didn't want him on the field over Kenny Clark. That's me.
Yeah.
I didn't want him on the field over Kenny Clark. I didn't want him on the field over Quinnen Williams. Let's be honest. You could draft Osa's replacement with one of your 8 5th-round picks. You could draft. Oh, and that's not to say that. Oh, and that's, I don't want to slight this guy. I don't. And there's going to be a lot of back and forth about this. But just being honest, your two horses, Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark. All right, Jay Towe is still on the roster. Okay. But a lot of the players that you're going to be getting, that you're going to depend on, are going to be pick 1. I mean, excuse me, pick 1, pick 12, pick 20. You're now third round pick from San Francisco, and your 12 fifth round picks, and you got to draft. And another thing is this: I had Nick Harris on. And I want the Cowboys to understand this, and I mean this. The Cowboys aren't done in free agency, guys. They're not done in free agency. Zach, you probably understand the cap ramifications, but to be honest with you, getting Osa $16 million off the books. People keep saying he was the best player he was a great player on a bad defense. Get that contract out of here.
Yeah,
I'm good, Zach. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's kind of what they were.
Yeah,
they're telling us too. They think that Kenny Clark, they could have saved the same amount of money by just simply cutting him. They would have saved $21 million, no dead money. Instead, they say, we're going to keep Kenny Clark, but we're going to trade Osa because we know we can get draft capital from that. Since they traded away that third-round pick for Pickens, since they traded away that second-round pick for Quinnen, they wanted to get back into day 2. This team loves day 2 picks. Solomon Thomas, good player last year, but I really think we're seeing Christian Parker probably has some say in this. These guys are getting caught up in Christian Parker's plan. Like, he has an idea for all of these guys. Dallas signed that one guy from the Los Angeles Chargers. He could be a piece that Christian Parker really, really likes. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Rashawn Gary. Like, is he going to play outside linebacker a ton, or are they going to try to slide him inside and play that defensive end and that 3-4? We don't really know, right? So we're just seeing these moves face value. Osa, don't get us wrong, Osa is a good player. I don't necessarily agree with trading away your best players. I wasn't happy when the Micah deal happened, but also he was part of a bad defense. And there were games, I go back to that Carolina game, to where he's just getting washed out or trying to play hero ball. He just didn't play good last year. Not sure that Christian Parker really has a plan or had an idea of what he wanted to do with them. And so they move on. And they get a top 100 pick, which they wanted.
So when you really look at it, Zach, my whole thing is, we can't say we want a new defense, and we can't say we want to make changes and not make changes. Osa wasn't in his plans. I don't know what the archetype, the way he plays the game. Christian Parker probably came in, he watched the tape and said, guys, are we just going to keep this guy on the roster, or are we going to try to get assets for him and get guys in who are going to do what we need them to do? I mean, it's just that simple. We have the worst defense in the league. Nobody's off limits. I don't understand it's just that simple. The Cowboys had the worst defense in the league. Nobody's off limits. And it's just, and the thing that bothers me, Zach, is like, we do this thing, not us, but people, we do this thing, fans, we do this thing where we're unhappy with the team. But it's like, oh no, don't get rid of him. Hold on. Oh, he's going to go somewhere else and be great. Let him. You're going to have to let him. Cowboys fans, you're going to have to let him. Zach, it looks like you got something on your mind.
If anything, I would be more upset with the Solomon trade, just because that's a depth piece that did play better than I think we expected him to. But getting Osa, they had $60 million. Now, they did move some money around. I don't remember exactly what it was at the defensive tackle position, but in total, just cash base salary, they were paying $60 million for their defensive tackle room. And that just doesn't make sense in today's NFL. It was a strength of their team. They weakened it. Now, I won't agree if they don't turn around and do something to make another part of this defense better. They have to get better at linebacker. They have to get better at corner. I want to see maybe there's a plan for this that we obviously don't know. We're not in the building, but I want to see this in a full bow. When we get to training camp, where is this team sitting? And I see somebody, like I said this earlier on in the stream for people that are joining. We're up to almost 2,000 people, which is
It's a
absolutely
smoker.
insane.
Hey, shout out to y'all. Hey, you know what, Zach? Let's take it just a quick second to do this. Thank you guys. You know what I mean? Because first of all, thank me and Zach for still setting up and being late to the original stream. And then it's like, boom, this breaks, and now we're just ready to go. So thank you guys. I continue, Zach. I'm sorry.
I just saw somebody comment, and I said it early on in the stream, but Osa wasn't really worth more than a third-round pick. I don't think so. Or they probably could have got more. We heard San Francisco from the jump. Maybe other teams called here and there. But with that salary, with that cap hit, having the out after 2027, they got a top 100 pick. And I think that was where it was always going to be.
I think, too, like, guys, if you guys can't say that you trust us and not trust us. Me and Zach have went through the whole process with you all. We were at the Senior Bowl. We were at and have been breaking down these prospects. This is a darn good draft. A darn good draft. Throw darts at this thing, man. I'm still holding Will McClay accountable, guys. I am. Foots is. I'm holding Will McClay accountable. Throw darts at it, y'all. And at the end of the day, Zach, we're at the Senior Bowl watching Zane Durant. I don't know if they go that way, but we're at the Senior Bowl watching Caleb Banks. Let me ask you guys a question, right? Who's to say that the Cowboys don't, and I'm going to give Zach, we're doing this off the cuff, so we have no script. I'm going to give Zach full credit. Zach texted me in January and said, ladies and gentlemen, well, he didn't say ladies and gentlemen, but he said, Foots, this Caleb Banks, he can play football. Let's say they look at Caleb Banks and say, we're going to take him at pick 20. Now we have this other top 100 pick. Maybe that's our linebacker. Maybe that's our nickel. We address nickel. But let's say they go with their two first picks. Let's say they go Monsoor Delane and Caleb Banks. And now your D-tackle room looks even better. You can do that because you got that extra third-round pick and you don't have a veteran hanging around. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
You feel me, Zach? So it's just there. You can now mix and match. You have 5 freaking 5th-round picks. You can move one of those. You can move this third for a player. There's so many different things you can do with this must draft capital. You kept your first-round picks. You didn't do anything goofy from Max Crosby. We haven't even talked about that. But at the end of the day, you get the money out of here. You get another pick. We're not sitting around. We still have our 4th-round pick, Zach. I would not be shocked if they don't take a Caleb Banks. Like, this is an amazing defensive draft. And now you're going to be able to really draft.
Yeah. And I see some people on here too. They're like, I trust you. I don't trust Jerry. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's get to, I want to see what this team looks like at training camp, because no, free agency hasn't really been what I said early on when we talked of, like, they have a lot of spots to fill, and I really hope they do it in the first week of free agency. But let's just see what it looks like when we get to training camp. If they have a plan. Last year, they traded George Pickens with a 3rd-round pick. Are they planning on moving that 3rd-round pick for another guy? Maybe the guy that they want isn't on the 49ers, which I think the only way I would have liked this deal even more for Osa was them getting a players in return. I see that. That's a big, hey, where's your clapping sound effect? Woo! There we go.
Whoa. Hey. Zach, your cousin, your namesake.
I know. Hey, dude.
Whoa.
Got a Zach in the chat.
Whoa, Zach, how we feel, man? How we
Pretty
feel?
Good. Hey, dude. Hey, that's crazy. Hey, we really, really appreciate it. We appreciate all you guys for being in here too.
Man, that is a smoker to say the least. Zach Golston, glad I caught y'all live. Just dropping in to show love. What's up, chat? In the chat, please show love. Fires in the chat for these gentlemen. Can we get fires in the chat for Zach Golston? That means the world does. Zach Golston, 4738. We almost got 2,000 people in here. It's a party, and me and Zach are going to go till our eyes are red. In all seriousness, though, Zach, thank you for this. We'll even come back to that comment because the $100 super is amazing. Here's the thing, Zach. Well, you were making a point, so I'm sorry if I cut you
No,
off.
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. I lost it. I saw that. I saw the red $100 and I went right out the window.
The Carolina game. If you guys want to do some homework, go watch the Carolina Panthers game and just really focus on Osa. You know, I heard a lot of people saying, well, maybe Osa could play a 5 technique. He could play an end. You know, he could stand up. Nah, he can't. You know what I mean? It's not how he wants to play football. And that's not a knock on the guy, right? It's not a knock on a player, Zach. It's just he's one of these. What's the word I'm looking for? He's a guy. Whoa.
Hey, dude, they're going crazy today. Goodness.
We got to stop this again. Hold on. Hold on, man. Hold on. How do you say that, Zach?
Wanda SP1.
Okay. No, but in all seriousness, thank you for that 50 as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
As I try to
you guys are going crazy.
Yes, you guys are definitely killing it. And also, as I try to temper my excitement. But in all seriousness, guys, I am elated because the Carolina game, I know I was making that point. So the Carolina game, Zach, I can honestly say that game was just wasn't it? Zach, you got some thoughts. Let's get your thoughts out, Zach.
No, I was reading the chat. K-Onda essay.
Okay, K-On.
Is that what people are people making fun of how I said it, or is that how you say it? Or you give me the pronunciation?
K-On.
There we go.
There we go. Shout out to our.
The chat's getting me all off track with.
I think I'm gonna hide it. I'm gonna hide it for a second, guys. Yeah. I'm gonna hide it because you guys are scaring me talking about that we just signed Jonathan Grenard. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, so that game, I'm hiding the chat, Zach. I don't know if you can see it, but I can't.
There you go.
So as I get my thought, the Carolina game was just so egregious to me. Nobody played great at the point of attack. I remember their tight end. What was their tight end's name? He was just like wasn't even a pass catching tight end. Let me look up this guy's name because I remember that game, and I'm thinking to myself, okay.
I know you're talking about.
Oh, he was destroying Osa.
Tommy Tremble.
Tommy Tremble was destroying Osa. He was destroying Sam Williams. It was gross. And I'm just like, again, we can't be excited about Christian Parker and not trust him. When you're a defense that is this bad, nobody's safe.
No.
And that you put some of that, go ahead. You put some of that on tape, Zach. It's like, hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it too. You can't keep bringing back the same guys and expecting different results. Like, you can't. That's why I'm like, I saw the Sam Williams thing, and I'm like, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. I would have gotten rid of every single guy on that defense last year because they were all part of a bad defense. Like, you're not going to get better by having the same guys coming around. Now, again, it all goes back to what do they do with the capital? Who do they get in the third round? Do they go and get a defensive tackle or a corner or a safety or somebody that can be a difference maker? People are so conflicted on this. I think just because they know the name. Obviously, Osa is a good player, but Dallas needs more help than just defensive tackle. They need more than just defensive tackles at this point where they are defensively. You got to go figure out how to get a linebacker, whether that's from another team or in the draft. I just think there was too much going on there. Solomon Thomas, maybe I'm a little bit more confused on because I think that was a nice depth piece. But again, we don't know what their plans are. What do they see in this defensive tackle room?
As I read the chat, Zach, I think it's one of those things where it's like what you just said is spot on. We're familiar with Osa Odighizuwa, right? We are. You are. I am. The chat is familiar with Osa Odighizuwa, and that's fine. But the problem is this: if he doesn't fit, he doesn't fit. You know, and we have to be okay with that. We talked about it earlier today. I talked about it earlier today, Zach, where it's just like, it's one of these things that because you know a player, we do this in Cowboys world. Because we know a player doesn't make him a good, a good player. Now, Osa is a good player. I want to say that, but
Yeah.
I also want to say that because we grew up and we saw Osa come in early on with Dan Quinn and have success. Think about how long ago that was. This is kind of where I was last year when I was thinking about, the dig stuff and some of these other players that are some of that holdover from the Dan Quinn roster. It's like, yeah, but this is now your what, third, fourth defensive coordinator. That guy is not going to look at your roster and say, man, these guys are good enough.
Yeah.
They're
Especially
just
after
not.
the tape they put out last year.
It's not realistic, Zach.
No. And it does stink because they are at a point where they need good players, but they're also at a point that they really need to tear it down and rebuild. Like they're just in this weird phase where they're not very, dude, look up. They're going crazy. Oh my God. Where are we at? 300? We need to start taking shots or something. Every time someone donates.
Right, why can't you guys let us get our thought? Y'all love us this much?
I know. I can't even get a full thought out without seeing a big old number. Thank you.
You guys love us this much?
Seriously.
What? Hold on, Zach. This is crazy. You guys love us this much? There's no way. This is Zach, really? Oh, Zach said, all right.
So I said they're getting rich.
Yo,
no, we really do appreciate it, though.
We really do appreciate you guys.
That's so legit.
That Angie Harris, shout out to you for the $150 super chat. 150. All right, Zach. Man, this is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna hide this for a second and then we'll get back to it. Somebody said strip. They want us to strip, Zach. Nuts. They're going nuts. Okay, in all seriousness, Zach, what does this mean now? So I think it means a few things. When you think about it, the Cowboys still do have major needs at linebacker. I would try to get two. You now need a rotational piece that you can grow with at defensive tackle, but I'm not going as far as saying that this is that we made it a need. I'm not going to say that because a defensive line room with Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark is still a great defensive. And that, to me, it's better. It's better than anything the Cowboys have had in the last 20 years.
And I think that's what they're betting on, right? They're kind of like, we can survive with the defensive tackle room without Osa and without Solomon Thomas. Like, I wouldn't think they're so far out there that they believe that they got necessarily better by getting rid of those guys. To me, it screams we can work with Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams, and then fill the pieces in around them because we've gotten by and had good defenses with worse defensive tackle rooms. That's kind of what it's telling me. Like we can't go play football.
Whoa. I'm taking a shot. No.
Yeah, that's crazy. You got, oh my.
Whoa, Zach.
Hey, I'm gonna need Zach's place of employment, and we're gonna have to pay taxes to him at the end of the year.
Zach, send me an email. Me and you we're gonna talk. Cause
crazy. Somebody done hacked this dude's debit card and YouTube account.
Yo, are you kidding me? What? We busted a budget tonight for sure.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, man. All right, Zach. You, my friend, I'm sending you something. Send me an email, Zach. I'm sending you something. Send me an email. Me and Zach are gonna send you something. I don't know what it is.
We can't even get through we can't even get through the show.
Oh,
dude, absolutely nuts. They just keep, dude. Oh my god, they just keep hitting. They just keep hitting. I've never had a show like this. Yeah, seriously. Oh. Seriously. Thank you all. Thank you all.
What? Y'all, listen.
Unbelievable.
I'm matching you, Angie. What? We love y'all, bro.
The chat's busting the budget more than Jerry.
Okay. We're gonna give special thanks to all of you guys at the end, but we're not gonna stop. Zach, we got to go at least an hour for this one, man. I mean, the fans deserve it. Okay, Zach. So as we organize our thoughts, what does this mean? Well, it means that Odighizuwa is no longer a Cowboy. He was a captain, Zach. Do you think, let me ask you this, Zach, do you think that they will be missing anything in the locker room? I kind of don't, especially because of how celebrated Quinnen Williams is. Where are you at with that, Zach? Like, because he was celebrating this lot. He's a great player. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. He's a great character guy. I have nothing bad to say about the guy. Nothing.
I think they will. I got a feeling that he was a locker room favorite, especially after the stuff with Marshawn Nealand last year, kind of stepping in and taking that over for the defense, kind of being that positive spirit for the defense after everything that they went through at the midway point. I do think that he was a locker room guy. People liked him. People respected him. Obviously, being a third-round pick and getting the deal that he did, staying in Dallas. I just saw that Jane Slater tweeted that he actually took less money to come back to Dallas than going with the Commanders last year, that he just built a new house. Like, that's just the reality of the NFL. Everybody, I think, in the locker room knows that it's a business. But at the end of the day, not having him in the locker room, I do think it matters to some extent. But all of these guys are professionals, and they just kind of understand.
Listen, it goes back to the professional part of it for me, right? Again, it is a loss, and I feel like Twitter is really unhappy, but I'm jumping for joy, right? Especially because I know that this team did not want to sit the draft out for 2 days, right? Now, what does that mean, Zach? They could use this third round pick and maybe go get a linebacker on a roster that they need. They could use this third round pick to draft their linebacker. But the point is that they're throwing bodies at younger players. Osa was going to be a rotational guy in this scheme, y'all. He wasn't going to be on the field every down, and that's the part that I've been trying to explain to people, right? Everything. I was going to do some content tonight about how this run defense is going to be great with what you brought in with Rashawn Gary. It is going to be great. And Osa wasn't in my plans, Zach. And he wasn't in my plans because we started to read the tea leaves. You kind of saw it last year in the snap count. And just be honest, Zach, is Osa a better player than Kenny Clark? No. I'll say no. I'm not going to answer for you.
Honestly, I kind of almost look at them as interchangeable in my mind. But Osa, I have some bias just because he was drafted by the Cowboys. I've fallen into that thing where I like Cowboys players. And I've had to kind of get away from that as I got older. But obviously the coaching staff and the personnel department have a better plan and better idea of what they want from Kenny Clark than they do Osa, or they wouldn't have made this trade. Like, I just don't think they would have.
And I love this right here, bro.
Yeah, 20 mil for a rotational guy is crazy.
Bro,
like, I mean, it's just...
Bro, we have to use... Thank Robbie. Shout out to you. Shout out to Robbie. Shout out to Marcus Montero. We're going to get you guys involved today. That's where I'm at with it. It's not even just about the player. Like, the player is good, but what does the money say? Because I tell people this all the time. Do you think Rashawn Gary's a great player? I think he's a really good player. But do you think he's a great player to be where he was drafted 12 overall? Yeah, that's subjective. It's all about, if he was a fourth round pick like Max, oh man, he's the best player in the world. They had around the same amount of pressures. But because he was a first round pick, Green Bay fans, oh, he didn't live up. With Osa, he earned his second contract for sure. But then when you start thinking about it, you're like, man, that's a lot of money to play a player who's not going to start, not going to get a lot of reps, and you got these two horses.
And we talked about it ad nauseum for the longest time. I don't know how they go into the year paying for the defensive tackles that they do. Like, I knew that there was one way or another. Kind of felt like it was Kenny just because that was the easiest move to make for them money-wise. Like, they didn't have to do anything. They could have just cut that contract and moved on. But I knew for a fact that they weren't going to go into the year with all three of those guys making the money that they were. Then we heard these whispers of, well, not even really whispers. Like, it was thrown out there in the Max Crosby trade that Osa could be on the block. And then it only got louder and louder as time went on, and we knew that this was inevitable. It was gonna happen. So it does stink to see a guy go that Dallas drafted and developed, like, played much better than a lot of third round picks for the Cowboys. To me, I'm not going to get too high or too low on this move until I see the full picture. I want to see. I think it can be somewhere in the middle. It's not completely black and white on right or wrong move, I don't think, until we get to the final answer. What do they plan to do with that third round pick? Or do they plan to move it again? Are they planning to use it to maybe move up from 12 for a guy that they really, really, really like without having to worry about pick 20? I just want to see the full picture. I'm not going to get too high or too low. I do think it makes our mock drafts a lot more fun.
I'll say this. I'll be the one that gets high. You guys have not seriously, guys, but you guys have blessed us today. It's still 2,000 people on the live. You guys are blowing up Zach's channel. You guys are blowing up my channel. This is a beautiful thing, man. Go shout out all the YouTube. Shout out all the YouTubers. I'm going to say this though. This is one thing I know for a fact. They're not done in free agency. It's literally the first day. I still think that they address backer. And the reason why I'm going to get high is because if you wait till next year, you're not even getting a third round pick for the guy, right? And we kind of already know the outcome. If you listen to me having Cody on, if you listen to Christian Parker, he didn't mention Osa once. Really go. I can't, man. Bro.
Everybody's going crazy today. Absolutely insane.
Bro. Wow.
Speechless, I think, is the thing. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say.
I love to talk, Zach.
Huh?
I love to talk.
Hey.
God is good. Life is good, man. God is good. Life is good. I can't thank you guys enough, man. Can we please get the likes up? Let's read off SC Zaddy. Hey, man, shout out to you. Big Zaddy, baby. All right. SC says, got inspired and wanted to show you guys some love for all your guys' great work and hard content and hard work. And for all you guys' hard work and content, love you guys. Bro, we love you. We love everybody in this chat. We are going to extend the show. Like I said, we'll try to get to an hour. I think I want to transition to draft those, Zach, but I do want to say this. You said something. Could this be Dallas saying, you know what? We're not going to play around with this thing. There's a player in this draft that we want. Go get him. So we'll package 3 and 12, move up to go get Caleb Downs. Now our safety deal is locked. We got 3 good safeties, right? We Ryan Smith ran the 3 safety stuff. We'll get our backer. We'll get our D. You get what I'm saying? We still got the fifths. Like you still got the guys. We see the $10 as well. We're gonna make sure that we get to everything.
Yeah,
So
we'll read all. Look, we got Jeff coming in hot too. Zach Golston, Jeff. Hey, we'll get to everybody's supers maybe after this little segment before we start rotating into
we'll
like
get
a little bit of draft talk. But yeah,
like what made you say that, Zach? Because I feel like you're on to something, and they might look at this class, because this is what I've said, and I'm gonna be the lone wolf on this. I don't care. You guys know when I'm passionate about something, I stand on it. Zach, how many people have said, well, this isn't a deep class? It is. It just is. Now, it's not deep at certain positions. It's not deep at quarterback. It's
running back,
a running back, receiver, but corners, nickels, safeties, linebackers. This class is loaded. I'm sorry, Zach. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to say that.
No, that was perfect. I think this third round pick gives them a lot more flexibility than they had an hour ago. I didn't really know what way they could really move other than moving back from either 12 or 20. And that was going to be hard unless it was moving back from 12 to 17 or 18, maybe recouping your third round pick based on how the trade value chart works out. But I think this gives them more options. Do they want to sit there on day 2 in the top 100 and make their pick at 92 because they want something to do on day 2 in the third round? Or is a guy sitting there at 16, 17, 18, and they're wanting to move up 2-3 spots to get their guy because they know that their guy is not making it to 20? Who is that going to be? I don't know. And honestly, I think this draft is going to be all over the place with how these guys are going to be talked about and drafted. Like when we get outside of the top 8 to 10, I think it's going to get a little funky. Just because did you see The Athletic talking about or doing the mock draft with 4 executives, and the first 3 picks were consensus, and they weren't even all consensus. They had them flip-flopped. It was Reese and Bailey and Mendoza in whichever order after Mendoza. But after that, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
There was no consensus on. They had guys, one exec had somebody going in the top 7 that nobody else even had in their top 10. And we really don't know. But if they got a guy that's fallen and they're worried he's not going to make it, could they take that 92 and move up 3 or 4 spots, jump somebody, and get the guy that they want?
Yeah, it's going to be. And see, now you have the ammo. You have the fifths. They can move up in the middle of the draft. We don't know. They have the fifths. It's gonna make, just for better content, in my opinion, is gonna make for a fun draft. It's going to make for the Cowboys, in my opinion, finally saying we are going to wash this thing out. That's what they're doing. The Cowboys they look. Christian Parker came in, looked at this roster, and said he can stay, he can go. Clowney's good, he's not good enough. We needed that. How many coaches have we said, Zach? They'll just, and we say, they'll just take them, we'll make it work, and we hear them come to the podium and say that. If I'm a coach, I'm not doing that. And guess what? The Cowboys are telling you that we'll take this draft capital and we'll try to flip this thing and we'll try to get it to average. And that's what I appreciate, because I got some news for y'all. And I've been wanting to say this. Wholly overpay on a lot of these players in free agency. Wholly overpay. Wholly overpay on Jalen Phillips. Wholly overpay on Oweh. Wholly overpay on a lot of these guys, Zach. But that's what we do around free agency, because he wasn't on our team before, and now he's on our team. And now he's on our team, Zach. So he's amazing. We're not going to talk about the issues that he have. Yes, thank you, Chubb. Wholly overpay. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe that Quay Walker got the money he got. And if you want to get mad at something for the Cowboys, maybe you get mad at them not making a move on Lloyd. But from what I'm hearing, he didn't fit. Now Lloyd wasn't an overpay, but some of these guys,
there's something going on with Lloyd. There's some reports, some whispers about him not really knowing what he was supposed to be doing at times. And you look at the advanced numbers on tackles and stuff, he didn't it wasn't great. I think free agency is tricky because you have to really pick your spots because at the end of the day, you are going to overpay if you want to play. Now, Jalen Phillips never would have made that deal. Odafe Owe never would have made that deal. Those are crazy. Jalen Phillips has never had a season over 7 sacks. He got $30 million per year. That's
a bad contract.
That is awful. That is an awful, awful contract. But I think that they could have picked their spots a little bit better, just kind of like they did with Jalen Thompson. There were a couple deals out there that I would have paid, like Eric Stokes. He had, according to PFF, had a top 10 corner season last year. He got paid $10 million a year. So it's like there's certain spots. Free agency is just like how I feel about this situation, where it's not completely right or wrong. They're somewhere in the middle. And I would lean towards I would want them to be more aggressive. But this one, I feel like they're kind of saying, we're going to wash this thing completely out. We're going to rinse the defense completely out, and we're going to try again. Because like you said, how many times have we seen it where they're like, bring the next coach in? We're going to try to make something work with the exact same guys. They haven't brought anybody back from their defense last year outside of Sam Williams, and he got the absolute minimum that you can get. Other than that, like, you have Quinnen, who you obviously know is a great player, traded capital for. Deron Bland is a guy that you paid. Okay, everybody else that was free agents, you can go. We're going to start this whole thing over. Even with Osa, we're going to trade him away. We're going to start over.
I love what you're saying, Zach. I want to show some love to this comment right quick. Shout out to you,
yes,
Dro.
Sir.
I'm glad I didn't take that shot now. And I'll take a drink every once in a while, but I'm real responsible. But shout out to you. We celebrate stuff like that over here, man. So shout out to you, Dro. We're going to get to the Supers. We see them coming. Zach, you're spot on, bro. The whole house was dirty. Now, this is what people do, right? And my mom used to get on me about this. What they fake clean the tub. Nah, man, you got to go in with bleach, bro. You got to go in with bleach. You got to clean it out. I hate to say that. You got to go. You can't. We did this last year, and probably if Matt Eberflus had any sense, he probably would have looked Jerry in the eyes and say, if you trade Micah Parsons and you trade my pass rush, this isn't gonna work. I want to resign. I don't want this job. Not sit around, let this defense become one of the worst defenses in the league, and now your name is getting slandered. And I know Micah, the locker room guy, and all the goofy stuff and all the attention seeking, I'm cool on that. But I like if a coach is gonna go down on your sword with your guys, with how you want to build it. If Foots is giving Christian Parker 3 years to get this thing to where it needs to be. That doesn't include Osa. That timeline doesn't include Osa. When you have Quinnen Williams, you have Kenny Clark. They extended Kenny Clark. What are we doing, Zach? There's no need to keep a guy around who the league values him and just keep him and he's not getting minutes. That doesn't make sense.
Yep. Well, you said it earlier. The value is only going down from here. It only is going to go down. I mean, maybe it would go up as you get closer to the draft. And then maybe teams are getting, antsy, like, we're worried about this or that. But you couldn't have done it like at the beginning of the season or after teams see his snap count dwindling. Dallas gave the 49ers his entire salary. So I saw somebody ask that a minute ago. It saves them a $16.7 million cap hit this year. I'm not all money guy. Like, I'm not like 100% awesome, but they wanted to get rid of that deal. And
they're not wrong.
Yeah. And you have to look at it from the 49ers perspective too. We're taking on a $16.7 million contract, but we're still willing to give you a top 100 pick for it. And they could, not end up wanting to keep him and have that potential out with no dead cap hit next year. But we're going to see. I want to see what the full picture looks like.
Zach, to me, I think it's like I said, I'm gonna take it a step because I just think there's so many options, and I think that this thing is fluid, right? I don't think that right now. I don't think they know what they want to do. I think they're, and you know what? That might be okay. I think that Christian Parker has come in and said, these are the type of players that I need, and Osa's not one of those, and that's not a knock on him. But if you want this thing to run correctly, he's not one of those, and so I'm okay with that. Now, you got something?
Bobby Belt just tweeted something that is interesting because he's a beat guy, so he's kind of like around the. He says this raises my antennas more than the Osa trade does, referring to Solomon Thomas. Moving Osa and Thomas back to back feels more procedural, like there's something else coming behind it. It does seem weird, like they moved those guys within 20 minutes of each other. Like we had been on live for like 15 minutes. Next thing you know, they move. It does seem like there's a rhyme and a reason for it.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I think that means, again, I've said they're not done in free agency. It's day one, like 3 hours into free agency. So does that mean that they go trade for Grenard? Maybe. I'd be really, really happy with that. Does that mean that they go get a defensive tackle on a roster that fits more what we want to do? If they go get a fat guy that just wants to sit in the middle of the defense, that is on the table as well. Zach, does that mean that there's a corner or a nickel on a roster that they want to go look at? A linebacker on a roster that they want to look at? There's endless possibilities. But to me, draft guy, I'm jumping for joy.
Yeah, I know. It's going to make mock draft so much more fun.
I'm jumping for joy. And, Jeff Casario said it. Is this a Vita Vea? Who knows? Right? But make sure you guys get the likes up because we'll figure it out. Zach, let me ask you this. I was thinking about this. Now that you have this extra third round pick in the way that the draft and you have the two compensatory fifths, is there a position, like for me, I was thinking about linebacker. Is there?
I just can't stop laughing when I see it pop up. Hey, thank you again. Good thing my kids are all grown up because y'all may be getting their college fund money.
SC.
Hey, thank you.
We're gonna go through the whole.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the whole. We need to get to those editorial because we've been cooking. All right.
We'll be. Yes. You know what? Be fat. I'm sorry. Let me sit up. Be fat. Hey, I almost fell out because I freaking what's going on? This is a miracle. What's going on around here? Zach, is there a position group though? Because I know, like for me, like exactly, Blaze just did that's a great name, Blaze. Christian Miller. Is there a position group that you say this position group stretches? For me, it's nickel, corner vibey, backer, edge does not stretch in this class, and true outside corner does not stretch in this class. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, let's say you went with your true safety and you went with your corner or your edge with your first two picks. Would you be okay knowing that I could throw my third, I could throw a middle backer, I could throw a third at a backer, or just what position group do you think stretches, Zach?
I think linebacker. I like Bryce. I think Bryce Boas.
Betcher's a good name.
He's a guy that
Anthony Hill could be hanging around the third round.
Yeah, Anthony Hill. I just watched this film a couple of weeks ago. I like him. Good downhill player. I also think that safety stretches a pretty good bit in this class. I know you have Downs at the top and you have McNeil Warren and Dylan Thieneman, but I think there's guys behind him. Zaki Wheatley, a guy that we talked to.
Great name.
Who's that other guy you talked to from TCU had 15 interceptions? Why am I blanking on his name?
Bud Clark.
Yep, Bud Clark. I think safety stretches pretty good in this class relative to like running back is rough. I'm glad that Dallas is not really hurting for a running back this year. Last year's class was the running back class, and they still didn't. They took blue, so I guess they did. But I think it's linebacker and safety probably stretch the most out of this class. Maybe a nickel corner, but outside corner it never really stretches, it feels like, with outside corners because those guys go. Those guys are going to go early. Teams are going to take good corners in the top 100 consistently. But I think you can get a decent linebacker at 92 if you're willing to sit there and stick and pick.
If you're, we talk about guys. I'll give you a name of somebody who could go real, really high or it could fall. That's a guy like Josiah Trotter, right? Kind of in coverage, but will come downhill. He'll hit you. He's where he's supposed to be. Could he be, mid-second? Could he be sitting there staring at you in the third round? We just don't know. And having that extra draft capital earlier in the process, I would have said to Jacob Rodriguez. I feel like he's helped himself a little bit more in that way, Zach. We saw him down at the Senior Bowl. He's a bit more athletic than we thought. One of your guys, Zach, and I want to bring this player up because this is where you start to get to these names, right? D'Angelo Pons, right? You start to get to a name that I really like is your Duke kid in Chandler Rivers. Names that can play some corner, can play some nickel, and are just physical mofos. Just want to tackle everything. Hey, Zach, look what somebody said. This is dope.
I know. Somebody noticed, right? We haven't glitched
hey,
out
Denise,
yet.
how are you? Yeah, he has it.
I actually got new internet. So now we're rocking.
So now we're rolling.
Yeah.
A great name. Oh, not to cut you off, Zach. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
AJ Halsey is a good name. I'm looking in the chat now. I wasn't even looking in the chat. I was looking at my notes. AJ Halsey is a good name. Traden Stukes is an exceptional name, right? That's that third round range. Dalen Everett. Somebody, when we watch Everett, Zach, we're like, man, this guy's sticky, right? And I'm going to give you my favorite right here, Zach. Now that you have your third round pick, okay? Jalen freaking Kilgore. I've watched the tape from South Carolina, and I'm like, man, if he somehow gets to the third round, I'm sprinting. Because while I do like guys like Keontae Scott, the tackle production there is outstanding with Keontae Scott. He'll come down, he'll hit you. I think what Kilgore has is that coverage ability that I'm just saying, man, Zach, so it just all depends on what they do with 1 and 20. I mean, excuse me, with 12 and 20 and how they parlay it. And then you still have a bunch of picks later that you can still throw some things in. They're trying to redo this thing, and I'm not mad at it.
And they have 4 fifth-round picks. So maybe that could even get you a couple of spots. I need to go, and maybe we can do a mock draft with a scenario like that where we talk about maybe even moving up in the third round using some of those fifth-round picks, because you're starting to get pretty low in value number-wise on the chart with those fifth-round picks, but maybe you could parlay that up and get to 85 if you give up 2 fifth-round. I don't know the numbers exactly, just off the top of my head, but there's a lot more flexibility now, and I think there are going to be defensive backs sitting around in the third round with a top 100 pick, linebackers that you would feel comfortable drafting. But you're right, the first 2 picks, let's say Bain falls to him at 12. I don't know if it's likely, but he's got really, really short arms. NFL teams all the time look at that, like that is what they base their evaluations on. He's got short arms, we're going to pass, right? It only takes 11 teams to do that, really 10 with the Raiders taking a quarterback. Then you're going to have, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles. If Bain makes it to 12, right, that's going to change their plans completely, because they just got their outside linebacker. They got their edge rusher, right? And then, 20 becomes different. Maybe they were wanting a Cassius Howell at 20. Yeah. Somebody like that. I think that first pick is going to set up what they want to do for the rest of the draft. That's what are they getting? They're going to need a linebacker. That they really like to take a corner, an edge rusher. They love taking edge rushers anyway, whether they need them or not.
If Bain's there, he's the pick.
100%. It has to be. To be.
Yeah. Oh, in this scheme, he could play that 4. He could play that 5. You could play those 5-man fronts, and he can knock inside. And I mean, you talk about a player who's like better than Osa, probably already at the 3 with the real NFL strength. Bain has it all. And some of that stuff does scare teams. I'll tell you right now, CJ Allen and maybe even a Jacob Rodriguez may be in play. I know for me at 20, I know Jacob Rodriguez at 20 is a little rich, but there are guys and teams. I mean, there are people out there who like, man, he's really helped himself. At 20 is rich, but I think the tackling machine that I will want if I had to go linebacker. So say, like you said, Zach, let's say they got wiped at corner, and it's like, you know what, we're going in this year with Savon Ravel, Bland, and our backups. okay, if you say you want to get the best backer available on the board and just knock that out the park and somebody who could, call this defense, it will be CJ Allen, right?
Yep.
And I think that me and Nick talked about this, and you just prefaced it perfectly, Zach. Bang falls, you draft him. And now you're saying to yourself, I want CJ Allen on my team because I want to be tough. And now you have a dogged up front seven across the board. DeMarvin Overshown, Ruben Bain, Rashawn Gary, CJ Allen in the middle. I mean, in the two monsters with Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark, your floor for your run game is set. It's set. Now you need to get out after the passer, but that could come with a nickel in the third, a safety in the fourth, and now you're really drafting because you have the draft capital. And it's just that getting that draft capital matters, and to me, in Foots' world.
Yeah. And it just keeps popping into my head what Bobby Belt said. Them moving those two guys in particular right about the same time, I just feel like there's a reason for it. There's something. There's got to be, and I haven't really been with the whole like, oh, well, they're not interested in Crosby. Well, they must be up to something. They're trying to throw everybody off the trail, blah, blah, blah. But this feels very 1-2. This is what we're going to do. We need to do 1-2, and then we can worry about what we want to go with next. Will they? I don't know. I can never predict this team. I've tried for the past 4 years. I've made videos. I've been wrong just about every single time. I don't know if they're actually going to, but just the way that they're moving with those two quick moves in succession, do they have something in mind? I'm not saying they made their defensive tackle room worse, but you gave up a good player. Like Osa is a good player for a defense that's trying to rebuild. You hope that they have a plan to get better somewhere else where they know they're really weak at linebacker, or they know that they need another outside corner. Like, what's the plan from here?
What else? And I think that we'll be finding out in the next couple of days. Let's get to these super, Zach. We're gonna read all of them off, guys, because you guys really took the time to show us love. And we had up to about 2,200 people in here.
Yeah, we're
cooking. And then I know Zach's going to be doing content and film. I'm going to be doing content and film. And the plan is unfolding. The plan to me, and Zach, we said this, and I just got to say this again, guys. No punchline at all. No record scratch. You like my little effects, Zach. When your defense was this bad, nobody was safe.
No.
I tried. We tried to. There is no man. He's and I love Osa. I do love Osa. He's not safe. That's the business. Because you know how you look at your kid, you like, man, Johnny's a great kid. He does what I ask him to do, man. He listens to me. And the teacher like, that Johnny? Man, that kid, he in the hallway every other day. He not doing his homework. He ain't, man, that kid's a jerk at school. So everybody doesn't see it the same. And we got to live with that. So we just traded Solomon Thomas too. Now we're getting Otito. What are we doing? Now we have to spend money on in the first. I don't believe that you have to. And thank you for the $5. I don't believe that you have to. Zach, you got anything for that?
No, I don't think you have to go get a defensive tackle now. I feel like they thought they were pretty. I mean, they're fine with being top heavy. Essentially, got some good depth pieces. Osa would have strengthened the middle of that, being a depth piece, but they're fine with having Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark be their premier players and the guys that they signed in with Jay Toia last year, and then the guy from LA.
Chargers. I messed his name up earlier.
I know. I need to look up the pronunciation for sure.
You guys probably answered this already. I just came in. Do you think these two trades? Yes. Star Guardian. I wish that I could star this. Yes, this is exactly what that is. I think it's both. I think they're cleaning house with guys who don't fit the scheme, and you get $16 million off your books. It's the NFL.
Yeah.
Look, Christian Parker is a smart guy, but I really hope he knows what he's doing. Also, I guess he's saying also was part of the best defensive tackle room in the league. What say you to that, Zach?
I know that Christian Parker probably has something to do with it because they're basing it on what they think they want to do on defense. But I also think it has to do with the money and whatever their plans are with that money. And best defensive tackle room in the league, I don't really know. I honestly really didn't care that much about defensive tackle in the position until they got Quinnen, because the Cowboys have been so notoriously bad there. But yeah, they were probably one of the best rooms in the league, and losing Osa doesn't help that, but you still got Quinnen, you still got Kenny Clark.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I trust y'all. I don't trust Jerry. Thank you, John. Zach, again, thank you, Zach.
Great name. Great name.
Your namesake, Zach. Thank you, Zach. Foots, you just hit it on the head. We had the worst D in the league. I feel like some fans are ignoring that. Shake the tree. No one is safe. That's it.
Yep.
Shake the room, bro. When you walk in the room, Marcus, it is what it is. It don't look right. I mean, hey, how many of y'all ever seen Lean on Me? Hey, man, what's the principal from Lean on Me? He came in, looked at these kids at this school, said, we're not going to do it like this. And he got their test scores up. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Here's what it
Hey,
is.
I said it all year or all offseason. I'm like, you just can't bring back the same guys. Like, your moves cannot be, well, we're going to bring back Sam Williams and even bringing back Clowney. It's like, you're not getting better. It's the same defense. And I like the Jalen Thompson move. They made their safety room better. And I like the Rashawn Gary move. You got a good run stuffer, or a guy that can play the run well. I wish they would have done more, but you know,
it's what it is, bro.
Can't bring the same guys back.
Thank you so much. No, thank you, Angie Harris. We can't thank you at all enough. Actually, let me read it all the way through. Thank you so much for the constant feed. I've been watching you guys constantly. I'm glad that I got you live. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you, Angie. And we appreciate this money. You know, this is a lot of work. My eyes always red. Zach, me and Zach, when we gonna link up? We tired. I fell asleep. It is what it is, bro. He said, let's blow it up, man. Zach, remember what I said? My email will be in the description box. Email me, Zach. I got something for you, bro. I don't take this lightly at all. Keep in mind they can pair that there with, yes, that's what I was saying, Nick. Absolutely. They can pair that there with a first. You just want to have the draft capital. You know, this defense isn't a year away. I've said that. So tear the studs out, clean the house is what it is. Shout out to you all. Appreciate your hard work. Thank you for the 49, Mr. Jab. $50 is.
Thank you.
We don't take that. I'm matching you, Zach. So she's matching you, Zach. Your namesake.
Yeah. That's right. Hey, still the best name out there. Best one that I've heard.
Let's keep going. She got that one already. You know what? Let me get to this $100. Love you guys. Keep up the good work. We love you, D-Nall. 23, man.
Thank you.
Not say that.
You guys are crazy.
You guys are nuts, man. Seriously. No tackle, Clark, Quinnen at the 4-eye, Rashawn Gary in the 3-4. Yeah. I think they're gonna go get another edge to play next to. Yeah. And I think they'll get another tackle as well. Rotational piece. Spell these guys. I agree. And then, like Zach said, you're a little top heavy, but it makes sense. Love you guys. This new DT can do what Osa did. Yeah, and I gotta watch his tape, but he's not bad. And you got him for $3 million versus 16. You do the math. Zach, you got anything?
No, I think we just knew it was crowded. Like, I mean, they went out and signed a guy, and we're looking at the defensive tackle room like dang. Like, they keep adding guys. And now they get rid of 2 guys. So, you know, somebody had to go. It was just too many bodies in that room, too much going towards that room.
Yeah, man. Where am I at? Foot Zach got to get back to work. Dak is a top 5 quarterback. Fight it out in the comments. Yeah, man. Christian Parker is about business, and this is the corporate, and this is corporate behind these trades. Osa Solomon for draft capital. I'm all for it. They're trying to overall. Yeah, this is a great comment, The Predator. I appreciate you being level-headed as well. Had to join in. Jeff, you are one of the mods on the channel. We appreciate you. Make sure you guys get the likes up as well. Thank you, Jeff, for that.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, I'm a Texas boy. I got to show out. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, SC. Chat gonna turn me up, and chat gonna turn me into a degenerate. Good thing my kids are all grown up, cause y'all may be getting their. Hey man, honestly, bro, I can't thank you enough for this, man.
Yeah, really.
Seriously, Christian Park. Oh yeah, we got that one. Okay, a 19, Zach. Trey, what's up, Trey? We'll answer this one and then we'll let you guys go. Hey, Zach. Hey, Foots. Question: do we still go 5? So I'm glad you asked this, and I'll have Cody on. Maybe I'll get Cody and Zach on. We'll do a round robin because Cody's super smart, and Zach may have some questions as well. And cut it up. Trey, we're gonna be multiple, and that's the reason why we're gonna have different players who can do different things. But we got to remember, Osa was drafted under Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn's been the head coach for the Commanders for almost 3 years now. So that's how long ago. You see what I'm saying? If this was the Patriots under Bill Belichick, nobody, they'd be like, man, the Patriots are so smart. They know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. It is, you know what I mean? And Osa can still play, but it's like having a wherewithal to get rid of a guy that doesn't do what you do and get rid of him while he still has value, to me, is smart. Yes, they're going to go 5-man front. They're going to go 3-4. They're going to go 4-2-5 structure. They're going to have all those different bags. And I'm excited for it, Trey.
Yeah, they're going to just Christian Parker. I don't think anything that he said in his press conference changes without Osa or without Solomon Thomas. They can still get into those five-man fronts and those, the regular 4-3 looks as well. I don't think getting rid of Osa changes that, because you really did have a log jam with those defensive tackles, not even the nose tackle, but the guys playing, and people have said it ad nauseum, but the 4-eye spot, you had a log jam there because you had so many bodies that Osa essentially was turning into a rotational piece anyway, unless you were going to put him on the edge. And I think that's kind of what they were looking at. And so I think they'll still go 5-man front. They'll still be a multiple defense, run a bunch of different things. What?
Hey, man.
Are people trolling?
What do they say?
Okay. Yeah, people are trolling. Never mind.
Ruben Bang. Oh, I haven't even been in the chat. Somebody said something. All right, you know what? I'm going to get some rest, Zach. We're going to get our thoughts together. What a great live. I'm glad that we did this, Zach.
What a show.
And I'm glad that we waited. Look at God. Had we not waited, Zach, we would have been cooked.
I know. We would have gotten done with our other show. Then we would have been like, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So you guys enjoy your night. Go hop on some other streams. Go watch some other videos. Watch some other content. Get the likes up. Go follow me. Go follow Zach. Other Zach in the chat. Make sure that you hit my email. I got something for you. I don't want to end it, but we love you guys. We got to go.
Yep. We appreciate it.